Yo, what is up, my dudes? This is Gumrion Haunts here, and I'm back with another episode of Halloween Hangout with Mystic. Now in this episode, we're going to be talking about haunted houses or haunts. Yep. There we go. Now, haunts are awesome, alright? Haunts are freaking great, alright? Because you get to showcase your stuff, alright? You get to use the stuff for its true freaking purpose. But I take issue with some people's haunts. Now, the issue is no actors. People usually don't get jump scare actors, and they don't even have to be like professionals. They could just be your friends, or they could just be your sibling, or like a cousin or something like that, or a niece or nephew if that's your situation. But seriously, you could just do that. I take fault with this because a lot of people do haunted houses. They call them haunted houses, but really they're like museums. They're animated museums. You walk through and you just look at the animatronics. That's it. Now, with jump scare actors, once the first jump scare goes off with the actor, it leaves them on edge, and it keeps happening as a little thing. Now, one thing I like about jump scare actors is that they can get down to a level that animatronics can. Animatronics are programmed to do one thing, and that's just say a couple phrases and move. Now, the thing about jump scare actors, they're versatile, very versatile, meaning they can go from, let's say, a witch to a demon in like 5 minutes, no joke, just costume change. Now, hold on. Alright, I got it. Now, if you watched my latest video, you notice I had no jump scare actors. Now, I took that video the morning after the haunt, alright? So the walls kind of falling down and all that, don't worry about it. Now, we did have jump scare actors. We had my friends. We had, I'm not going to say their names. I had 3 friends. I had my brother. And then one of my mom's coworkers' kids. And me. So we had 6 jump scare actors. And at one point, we had all of us in there at once. And it was horrifying for some people. Hold on, I will be right back, my dudes. Gotta go get some. Alright, we're back, and, I just completely forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Jump scare actors, yeah. It was truly horrifying for some people. I think I emotionally scarred some kids, actually. But actors can do so much more. Like, they can actually, get up next to them and all that, and, scream and, just torment them, basically. What I did was, I would jump out and I would laugh like a freaking maniac because I was a killer clown with a machete. Now, that actually kind of scared some people because I had the Animotion mask, the Last Laugh the Clown, plus the Freak Show Clown costume from Spirit. Great costume. Highly recommend it. It's so comfortable. But I think I may have emotionally, scarred some kids, maybe, because of what I did. I basically hop out of the wall, I would yell, and then I would start laughing like a maniac. And one time I took it a little far, and I started yelling, "Ain't I just funny? Ain't I just the funniest thing you ever seen?" At the top of my lungs, while with the Animotion mask, clamping my jaws shut as loud as I could while opening the mouth. And then I would, retreat back into the wall, and I think I made some people cry, too, out of fear. But, it was honestly, it was scarier than 2 years ago, according to everybody that came. They said it was so much better. Because 2 years ago, Meek's House of Horrors, it was the first rendition of the series. It was not very organized, alright? The jump scare actors, very sporadic. Some of them didn't show up the second night. Others didn't show up the first night. Others trashed the haunted house. We had this one kid, he was, bigger. I don't want to offend people, but he was a bigger fellow. All right. Now he brought 2 large Cokes, 4 Big Macs, and like 3 orders of large fries into the haunted house just to sit there in his thing and eat. He left his trash spread out everywhere. No joke. We had to pick it up, and it was the nastiest crap ever. My old garage used to be big, right? It used to be much, much bigger. This garage, and I did as much as I could at the time with my knowledge and all that, and I used my space up. Now, this year, we downsized to a smaller garage. Well, I mean, I live in the same house as last year, but, this is my first year doing haunted house in my garage in Yukon. Now, basically, we had a smaller area. We took up that space so well. We used our space valuably. I don't even think that's a word. I don't know. But we actually valued our space. We used it properly, like you should. You should always, use your space the best you can. You fill up the space, basically. Make it look nice. Make it look pretty, all pretty and crap. Alright, but, I don't know what I just did. God. But I do take fault because some people don't even jump scare get their siblings or people like that to jump scare. It's stupid. It's honestly stupid. Because at that point, it's just a freaking museum, alright? It's a museum that you walk through and oh, that's cool. That thing's cool. Oh, that startled me a bit. Alright, well, let's keep going. Yeah. Another thing I take fault with, I'll show you in the next thing I found on Instagram. Basically, I'll read it out for you if you're, using this as background noise. Y'all really confident to call your house the scariest in the area, but still be using stuff like this. Party City wall, barrier, I guess? I don't know. Border, stone border. A Jimmy Ghost spotlight, that's the tilt-a-whirl ones that go all over the place. It's stupid. Bright, fluorescent blue tarp, not plastic sheet like I use, 6mm plastic sheeting from Home Depot. The 10-foot by 100-foot is what I recommend fully. Alright, if you're doing a haunted house, get that from Home Depot. It's a little bit more on the expensive side, but it's much better than the Lowe's brand, in my opinion. One jumping spider. Not anything else, just one jumping spider. The glitteriest freaking tombstone from Dollar Tree. A stupid Sunstar little ghoul thing. Some cheap Dollar Tree level spider webbing that they only use 2 pieces of. 2 little strands. The atmosphere effects, which is probably the best thing they use. And then they have an overweight of fat Michael Myers that freaking talks. The theme oh, well, I better, yeah, screw that, that's okay, theme changes in every room, that's okay. Slow battery operated LED strobe lights, I'm talking about the ones from Dollar Tree, because yes, they do sell those, and turn back now, spray painted on the blue tarp. The only one I take fault with on this is theme changes in every room, that's stupid. Alright, you can do that. I don't care. Go, you know what? You can do the theme change thing. That's what I did. That's what everybody does. Because nobody only buys one category of props. Nobody just goes out and buys circus props and all that. You buy a variety. You buy what you like, usually. And that's very rarely, in some instances, all circus or all graveyard or all corpse or all lab. That's very, very rarely the case. But still, if you do that, alright, look up some videos on how to build a haunted house, and I'll do a little video on tips to building a haunted house and all that. An actual, budget haunted house. Well, not budget, but a good haunted house. Now, yes, this is the cheap. This is the Penny Savers haunted house, basically. Let's just pretend the theme changes in every room isn't there. But this is the Penny Savers haunted house, basically. Because the most expensive thing here is the atmospheric effects, which is like $230. That's it. All this together would round up to about $300 to $500. Now, the average haunted house would take about $2,000 to build from scratch every year. Let's pretend you're not HDJ and got that plywood money clout. No, let's pretend you're starting out with the new stuff every year. So it would take a good 1.5 to $3,000 to build. If we're using animatronics and costumes and lighting and fog machines, fog juice, all that, it would take 1.5 to $3,000. If you can do it less than that, to like $1,000 to $1.4,000, please let me know how you do that, because I would love to know. Yeah. But if you're gonna do a haunted house, make sure it's actually good quality. Make sure you have jump scare actors. Make sure you got all that, because you can literally scar some people with just jump scare actors or stuff like that. You could actually do some damage, emotional damage, which is not really what you want to go for, but you can do it unintentionally, and all that. But, yeah, this video is kind of a mess. Sorry, I'll see you guys in the next rendition of this series. Bye, or something. Bye.